A stranded cruise ship full of Americans infected by the coronavirus, OU researchers working to study that same virus with a grant from NASA, and if you aren't registered to vote in Oklahoma yet, today is your day. This is OU Nightly.
Hello, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Logan Morrow.
And I'm Lindsey Gibbs. We begin tonight with the latest on the coronavirus and increasing infections among Americans. More U.S. citizens were evacuated from China today, some of them landing just moments ago at Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio. And there are nearly a dozen Americans with the virus stuck on a cruise ship in Japan. Stacey Cohen has the latest.
Home at last. Hundreds of Americans evacuated from Wuhan, China arrived in the United States via 2 chartered State Department flights on Friday, landing at Air Force bases in California and Texas, where passengers will now undergo a 14-day mandatory quarantine. There are now more than 31,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus worldwide, with at least 630 deaths. The majority of those are in mainland China. 2 cruise ships are quarantined due to infection risk. 11 Americans on board the Diamond Princess docked near Tokyo tested positive for the virus. One of those is Rebecca Frazier. Her husband, Kent, did not test positive.
A little bit scared. Hard to know what the future holds since I don't really feel sick right now. Like, is it going to get worse?
The Royal Caribbean ship Anthem of the Sea will delay its next cruise departure by 1 day following a coronavirus scare on board. 27 passengers who'd recently traveled to China were tested. 4 are under evaluation at an area hospital after a team from the CDC boarded the ship.
Whenever you have a situation where you have potential exposures, you want to make sure that if a person is exposed and is a high risk, you want to do further screening of the individual.
President Trump spoke with Chinese President Xi Jinping Friday about the virus. So far, there are 12 documented cases in the United States. Public health officials believe the quarantines and enhanced screenings will help slow the spread of the virus. In Washington, I'm Stacey Cohen reporting.
The University of Oklahoma has produced a video to help answer questions about the coronavirus. We've linked it to our website, ounightly.com. And the snow is still melting outside, but the sun is shining once again.
That's right. Nash Rhodes is here with a first look at our forecast. Nash, what do you have for us?
Yeah, that's right, guys. Not a lot of snow out today, but yesterday, if you're walking around campus, you probably noticed a lot of snow. I want you to check this out. This is satellite imagery from yesterday morning, Thursday morning, and look at all this snow the satellite could see stretching from northwestern Texas all the way into central Oklahoma. Norman is right here, but watch as we play this out yesterday. Notice all this snow starts to completely disappear, leaving us mostly dry here in central Oklahoma. Now, we're not expecting much in the way of snow in the future, but coming up, I'll have a forecast on when you can even expect some storm chances and even a warm-up ahead.
Thank you, Nash. The year 2020 marks the 150th anniversary of the National Weather Service. The Weather Service began by hand recording visual observations 2 times a day in the 1800s. A growing need for weather information led to weather balloons and aircraft data collection. Now, with the advancement of weather modeling, the NWS still works around the clock to keep us all informed.
You know, we use these weather models really every day to get a feel of, how's the atmosphere behaving, what is going to be happening. And really is that advent and development of weather models has really kind of pushed us forward as far as being able to forecast the weather and really, kind of give a quality service in our mission to protect lives and property.
The National Weather Service officially turns 150 on Sunday.
And today kicks off the first day of Alpha Phi Alpha's annual district convention here on the OU campus. Mckenzie Gladney joins us live with more details.
This weekend, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated will host their annual district convention right here at Gaylord College. Members of the state and region will come together to participate in competitive events, attend workshops, and even attain certifications in specific areas. One member says his favorite aspect is simply congregating as a brotherhood.
I definitely feel a sense of brotherhood whenever I'm here. It allows me to kind of embrace the fraternity I'm in. Sometimes being on this campus, it just seems like there's not much community here because it's not super welcoming because people don't look like me per se, and they're not as accepting of like our traditions and our background.
The purpose of the conference is to bridge the gap between college and alumni members while promoting brotherhood and service.
All right, thank you, Mckenzie. NASA has awarded researchers $730,000 to study disease threats, including the coronavirus, here at OU. Oklahoma researchers will study disease outbreaks that have emerged from contact between human and animals, along with how to prevent and stop the spread of these diseases. And next on OU Nightly, time is running out if you want to help pick your party's presidential nominee.
The deadline to register your ballot is coming up sooner than you might think.
Plus, the latest on Puerto Rico's disaster relief package.
And the disagreements on how the territory should be treated among parties. Up next on OU Nightly.
The primary elections for presidential nominations are approaching fast, but your time to register is almost up. The deadline to be able to vote in your party's nomination for the 2020 general election is midnight tonight. Kathy Singer with the Cleveland County Election Board knows the importance of getting involved now.
Because we are a closed primary in the state of Oklahoma, they need to be registered in the party that they want to have a voice in. So if they want to help select the presidential nomination for the Democratic Party, they need to be registered Democratic.
And if you want to register to vote in the primary election, go to clevelandcountyelectionboard.com/voter registration.
More fallout from the impeachment trial leads to officials being fired. Skylar Tallal has that story and the rest of today's headlines from around the world. Skylar?
Logan. Key impeachment witness Lieutenant Colonel Alex Vindman was removed from his position as a top Ukraine expert at the National Security Council earlier today. President Trump has been unhappy about Vindman's testimony, and Democrats believe this is retribution for it. Vindman's twin brother has also been fired from his position as a National Security Council attorney. The two brothers were escorted out of the White House together. The House of Representatives passed a $4.7 billion disaster relief package for Puerto Rico today. It passed with a vote of 237 in favor and 161 against the measure. This relief package follows a series of severe earthquakes that hit the U.S. territory over the last couple of months. The bill is unlikely to go to the Senate, and even if it does, Trump has said he will most likely veto it. Democrats are arguing that Trump is treating Puerto Rico differently than other territories. The Iowa Democratic Party announced they will be extending the time campaigns have to call for a recount of the Iowa caucus. The deadline has been pushed back to Monday at noon, giving campaigns 3 extra days to review and challenge the results. This means the finalized result will be out a week after the Iowa caucus. As of now, former Mayor Pete Buttigieg is leading by 1/10 of a percentage point above Senator Bernie Sanders. And be sure to watch the 2020 Democratic presidential debate tonight at 7. And Lindsey, it's going to be pretty interesting to watch the debate after all the chaos with the Iowa caucus.
Thank you, Skylar. It definitely will be. We're just getting a taste of winter, but the good news is spring isn't too far away.
Coming up on OU Nightly, tomorrow's celebration that will have all eyes on the skies.
And Nash Rhodes will be back with a look at our weekend forecast. Nash?
That's right, guys. Warm weather is on the way. I'll let you know just how long coming right up. Here's a live look at downtown Oklahoma City. As you can see here, we have mostly clear skies. We started off this morning with pretty much clear skies. We've had clouds here and there, really all over the place today, but our temperature right now is 48 degrees with those winds out of the north and west at 14 miles per hour, making it feel just a little bit cooler than these temperatures you see here, and really across the entire state. 48 in Enid, 48 in Norman. Also, notice Ardmore and Lawton, our warmest of the bunch, at 55 and 54 respectively. Tonight, though, we'll be completely below 32 32 degrees across the board. Our normal for this time of year is 31, but notice these winds are starting to shift on us, really easing up to only about 2 to 5 miles per hour, and that sets the stage for tomorrow when these winds are now completely out of the south, lending themselves to about 5 to 15 mile per hour speeds and really cranking up our temperatures. Look at this, 55 degrees finally for a high. Now let's take a look at the future radar conditions though. Tomorrow we're going to have mostly clear skies. Get out and enjoy it because it will be a great day. But tomorrow night, notice we start to have these clouds ease into the forecast. And this is Sunday morning. A lot of warm air and moisture here in the central and eastern parts of our state. Keep an eye on this cold front though. Once this slowly makes its way into the metro, you'll see fireworks stretching from Lawton all the way to Tulsa and Miami, as we will see some fairly strong storms start to develop in our area and then progress further to the southeastern portions of our state. Now these storms will be on the somewhat weaker side. We could see some strong winds, perhaps even some hail, but in terms of the highest likelihood to see storms, the southeastern quadrant of our state is going to be your best bet. Now let's take a look at the 7-day forecast once again. Tomorrow, get out and enjoy it. 55 degrees. We'll heat up to 65 on Sunday before we drop off on Monday. Throughout the remainder of the week, we'll be in the upper 40s and 50s for highs. And guys, look at that on Friday. A nice forecast for your Valentine's Day plans.
Thank you, Nash. There's still a little snow on the ground, but we've sure got a sign that spring isn't far away.
That's right, Lindsey. Tomorrow, February 8th, is National Kite Flying Day. Kites date back to 470 BC in China and today are closely associated with windy spring days.
There's a bit of history, too, with these fun flyers. Some say they were first used to send messages, and they were once used in the South Sea Islands for fishing.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that there was that much history to kites.
Right. Well, that's all the time we have for news tonight, but men's hoops is back in action tomorrow afternoon.
Parker Thune is here with a preview of OU buckets and more. Parker?
Hey, Lindsey and Logan. Yes, we've got the preview of tomorrow's pivotal showdown at the LNC. Plus, OU baseball will be returning soon. Come on back and get the lowdown. Big Friday Sports is next. Oklahoma, it's Friday, and you know what that means. We're back in the saddle on Big Friday Sports. Parker Thune, Sam Brown, and Sam, we got to start with a big home date for OU basketball tomorrow.
Yeah, big is an understatement. This is a must-win for the Sooners after dropping a road game earlier in the week against Texas Tech. Now, numbers never lie, and while Oklahoma is 2-6 on the road, they're 9-1 this season when playing in the LNC. But with another top 25 team coming to town, the Kruger knows it's important not to dwell on the past.
Learn and get better, and you can't let one game affect you in a negative way going into the next one. You have to learn from it and respond. Either win 2 in a row, or if you win, or bounce back from a loss if you don't.
Lon and the gang aren't the only Sooners in action this weekend. Take a look. Men's tennis hits the court with Arkansas in just a few minutes. Meanwhile, track and field will host the J.D. Martin Invitational tomorrow.
Yeah, also on the docket, women's basketball is at this very moment attempting to navigate through the snowy cornfields of Iowa to get to Ames, where they'll take on the Cyclones tomorrow. And finally, men's gym welcomes Iowa to McCaslin Fieldhouse tomorrow night. Let's go to the Diamond. Baseball season right around the corner, and the Sooners could be a sneaky team this spring. They entered the year ranked in the top 25 and feature 4 players on the preseason All-Big 12 team. But while expectations have changed for Skip and the boys, their focus is still the same.
We can't worry about the hype or if somebody's saying our offense is bad or somebody saying our pitching's good. What we've got to do is take it one pitch at a time, because the process matters more than the result.
From the diamond to the hardwood, women's basketball has been busy breaking records this week. And Big Friday Sports' Meridith Mulkey fills us in on the historic stretch of games for the ladies.
It's no secret the women's basketball team has struggled here recently, going on a 4-game losing streak, but everything changed within the span of just 2 games. The second largest Big 12 comeback win in program history. Coach Cole got her 500th win, and junior Ana Yanusa hit her 1,000th career point. Not only did the Sooners break records, they also got the wins, improving to 12-20 on the year and starting up another win streak. On the road in Kansas, the ladies seemed to do the impossible. After a rough first half, down by 22, OU came back to win it 94-82 in overtime. OU started closing the gap in the third, outscoring Kansas 29-13. Freshman Gabby Gregory stepped up big time this game, and it was her offensive rebound and jumper that tied it in the fourth. Then Taylor Robertson drained the three for the lead, but Kansas came back with an answer and the 1-point lead. A made free throw from Liz Scott with seconds left would keep the Sooners alive. Now in overtime, Gregory got it going for the Sooners and they never looked back, outscoring the Jayhawks 19-7. The impressive comeback gave head coach Sherry Cole her 500th career win, but the victory wasn't just for her.
500 hid like a son of a gun. That thing has been hard to find, and I didn't even think about, truthfully, before you said that, the significance of doing it here at the Storied Arena, and that's pretty cool. But, you know, in the great scheme of things, our basketball team needed to win a game today. We needed to win a basketball game, and we did.
Back home in the LNC, the ladies got their second double-digit dub of the week over West Virginia, and the team was rewarded with its first ever season sweep of the Mountaineers and Yanusa getting to 1,000. This was just the second game back for the junior guard after missing 6 games with an injury. She felt better than ever, leading the way for OU with 19 points, reaching her milestone on her 17th point with a clean drive to the basket. Add 3 rebounds and 2 steals to that, Yanusa had herself a night.
It honestly just felt good to just be back out there and, like she said, not in pain. I felt like I could finally move how I wanted to. At the Kansas game, I didn't feel right, didn't feel like I could move like myself. And so, honestly, I was just happy about that and happy to be back out there with my team.
With Yanusa back in the lineup and the Sooners playing some of their best ball, we'll see if the ladies can extend their winning streak on the road as they face off against Iowa State tomorrow at 2. Meridith Mulkey, Big Friday Sports.
Well, we're at the halfway mark, here on BFS, but don't switch that channel. After the break, we'll break down a busy week of trades in the NBA and MLB.
Yeah, the Thunder didn't make any moves, but the team they're playing tonight sure did. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. Now, if you're itching to watch some football this weekend, the XFL is in action. Specifically, the Dallas Renegades have a home game. So if you're planning on heading on that direction, keep an eye out. The arena does not have a top on it, so temperatures could be in effect. Also, winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour could impact the game at 4 p.m. in Dallas. But here in Norman, we do have rain chances of our own. 60% chance of rain on Sunday, but notice our temperatures will drop off throughout the remainder of the week with highs in the 40s and 50s throughout the entire upcoming work week, guys.
Thanks, Nash. While the NFL season ended last week, it's now time to look ahead to the NFL draft in April.
Yeah, the Combine is a few weeks away, and 4 Sooners will get the opportunity to impress coaches and GMs in Indianapolis. Quarterback Jalen Hurts, wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, linebacker Kenneth Murray, and defensive lineman Neville Gallimore were all invited to perform at the Combine at the end of the month.
That's right. Hurts in particular will be looking to improve his stock after an up-and-down week at the Senior Bowl in January. Sam, I'm happy. Ask me why.
I'm happy too, but why are you happy?
I mean, Nash said it. There's football this weekend, baby.
Yeah.
No more post-Super Bowl blues. The XFL is back.
Oh, yeah. We're all very excited. Now, granted, we might be setting ourselves up for failure because the first incarnation of the XFL only lasted 1 season back in 2001. But football is football. The league's rebirth kicks off tomorrow as the Seattle Dragons visit the DC Defenders and the LA Wildcats take on the Houston Roughnecks. Parker, I'm riding with Nash. You know I'm picking Bob Stoops, Landry Jones, and my hometown Dallas Renegades to win it all.
Well, bringing things back here to Oklahoma, the Thunder hit the second leg of their 4-game homestand tonight as they host the Pistons. Here's a fun subplot.
Oh.
Thunder guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was just named a substitute contestant in the All-Star Skills Challenge, Sam.
That is fun, and the guy he's going to be replacing is actually the guy he'll be guarding tonight, former MVP Derrick Rhodes.
There it is. Sam, how about the firefight last night between the Lakers and the Rockets? LeBron James and Anthony Davis combined for 50 points to lead L.A., but Russell Westbrook was not to be outdone. He poured in 41 to go along with 8 rebounds and 5 dishes. The Lakers are still best in the West as they lead the conference, but the Rockets now sit just 5.5 games back. Watch out for Houston.
No doubt about it. Meanwhile, in the East, a potential conference finals matchup between Milwaukee and Philadelphia, and Giannis played like it was the playoffs. 36 points and 20 rebounds from the defending MVP, became the first person with 5 straight 30 and 15 games since 1985. Now the Sixers put forth a valiant effort on the road with 55 points and 32 rebounds from the big three of Embiid, Simmons, and Harris, but the Bucks pulled away in the second half to come out with a home win, 112-101. Now, speaking of Giannis, for the second straight year, he and LeBron squared off in this year's All-Star Draft. Now, I don't know about you, Parker, but at first glance, I think Team LeBron is clearly the better squad with LA teammate Anthony Davis, LA rival Kawhi Leonard, and my favorite player in Dallas's Luka Doncic. It's a lot of spacing on the floor and even more playmaking.
Now, I agree with you there, but let's not overlook Team Giannis either. They have tons of size with Giannis and players like Embiid and Pascal Siakam, but I'm very interested in what former Sooner Trae Young can pull off in his first All-Star appearance. Now, Sam, it was a hectic day in the NBA yesterday as the trade deadline came and passed. It was the LA Clippers that landed the big fish as they brought in Marcus Morris from the Knicks.
They weren't the only team to make a big splash. The Atlanta Hawks acquired big man Clint Capella from the Rockets to pair with Trae Young. And Cleveland somehow went from tanking to hunting for the prestigious 8th spot in the West by acquiring former Pistons big man Andre Drummond.
Now, Sam, you know I'm a big Dodgers fan, which makes the news that broke last night all the more concerning.
That's right, Parker. The huge three-way trade that would have sent outfield phenom Mookie Betts to Los Angeles is on hold. Reports indicate that one of the minor league prospects included in the deal was unable to pass a physical, and the three teams are now trying to reconfigure the trade to make it work on all ends.
Life of a Dodger fan, man. If it's not one thing, it's another.
That's all right, buddy.
All right, Sam. Let's wrap up our show today with our play of the week. Butler and Villanova. Kamar Baldwin at the horn.
A big bucket at the buzzer. Defender all over him. Somehow gets the shot to go. Butler would upset Villanova in the game, and a huge win for the program as a whole.
I tell you what, I can't even make that shot playing horse.
I mean, you don't make these shots to begin with, buddy. I hate to tell you.
Oh, okay. We're hitting the hardwood after this. Put your money where your mouth is.
You know, I'm competitive. I'm going to fight it out. We'll see what happens.
Dude, lower the rims. I'll dunk on you.
It's not saying much. All right, well, it sounds like Parker and I are off to play some basketball. I think I might have to give him some work, so that's where we'll leave today on Big Friday Sports.
We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Good night, everybody.